Welcome back. Minimax is the first race of the weekend, about to get underway. One driver not taking part though, Alex Lloyd, driving the 48, second last time out. He does not start. He was injured in final practice on Saturday, and our thoughts and best wishes are with him on his road to recovery.
Absolutely not what we wanted to see going into this meeting, but here's the grid. Johnny Edgar on the front row of the grid alongside Klas Koika for the first time. That's going to make things very entertaining, especially when we've got the likes of Dexter Patterson in 7th on the grid. Several drivers out of position. We could see quite a battle royale here, and away we go down to the first corner. We're on board with Clayton Ravenscroft, and that is the O-plate. Jensen Butterfield directly in front of us. Everybody hogging that inside line as we make our way through.
Up into turn one, it's Egger out front. That's Jensen Butterfield pictured there, the championship leader. Can't quite make out Johnny Egger. There he is. You've got Klas Koika, who's lost a couple of places. I think he's in behind us into the chicane for the first time. Down to the left-hander, the square left we're calling this one, the 90-degree left into the hairpin. Overtaking opportunities. Through there, out onto the straight, down to the boot. First part of the boot is the ankle, the left-hander, the toe is the right-hander, and the heel right-handed here brings you out into this short squirt down to the left-hander. Butterfield looking up the inside, but can't quite get it done.
He really wants to get through here, doesn't he, as they come across the line once again, down the straight and into the S's here at the bus stop. And it's a right, left, right as they come back onto the main straight once again. You can see just how tight it is up the inside. That is Ravenscroft losing places. Oh, sorry, no, Koika making up places, the 77.
He started P2, Jake, didn't he? So down to 5th place, so he's lost places already. Great shot as they go through the chicane for the second time. That is Johnny Egger. He's won both heats and the pre-final today. If he wins this main televised final, he'll have a full scoop of points. Lorcan Hannafin going through the picture, 5th on track now. He's 3rd in the championship.
Well, it's Coles 1 and 2 at the moment, which is exactly what they wanted to see, and Ravenscroft in 3rd position in kart 75.
Second place, Jake. This is Ravenscroft. Second place, Egger out front.
Now, what can Ravenscroft do to move up into position? Because Butterfield is now behind us, and Ravenscroft is going to have a go to the inside line. Is that a perfect move? Yes, it is, but he could go out wide here. Edgar's going to get straight back alongside, and he'll have the inside line for the first part of the flick. Ravenscroft's going to keep his foot in. Brilliantly defended. That was very tight indeed between the two. Meanwhile, further back, it looks as though Klas Koika has moved his way up back into 3rd place. Yes, he has. The 77 is back there into 3rd position, so all that time he lost, he has now made up as on the inside. Hannafin makes the move on Tom Canning, the Honda Cadet champion from 2 seasons ago. But Klas Koika is the man who's on the move at the moment, 3rd position, and he's trying to get back on terms with the Coles pair.
It was a great move by Ravenscroft up into the hairpin for the first time as they come through the chicane. Next time round, respect given by Johnny Egger as they went down side by side into the chicane, but Edgar's up the inside, and that looks like Koika's back through to 2nd. So Koika was down to 5th, he's battled back through to 2nd, so having a good day.
Yeah, it's exactly as they were, and there's battles further back as well. Owen Johnson making a move into the chicane for the first part of this lap, and then down towards the square left. He's going to have to really work hard here because there's a great train of karts to follow. In the middle of that little gaggle is Dominic Bush, by the look of it, the Thule Motorsport driver, doing a very good job. Oh, contact a little further back. Now, who was that getting in the wars there? That was the 26 of Ben Burgess tagging Oakley Pryor, and one of them went up in the air. That was a bit of a messy one.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that, to be fair. That is Klas Koika, started P2, running 2nd now, but has a few dramas early on. But this is the best performance we've seen from Klas. He's on the front row for the first time here at Super 1 in a televised final. That's always great to see the drivers improving. Great low shot as they go through the chicane one more time. Into the left-hand of the square left. Still Edgar out front. Koika in 2nd. And then Ravenscroft 3rd.
Just behind the top 4, we've got this little battle developing with the front of the train being led by Tom Canning with Lorcan Hannafin. Then, incredibly, it's Dominic Bush wearing Oliver York's race suit as he runs in front of Dexter Patterson. So he's wearing another racing driver's suit. That's a bit like Jensen Button walking around wearing Lewis Hamilton's baseball cap, isn't it? He's got somebody else's brand name on the back of his kart suit.
Yeah, but if you're going to have anybody's suit on with somebody else's name on it, you may you may as well go with somebody who's a proven race winner at the Super 1 level, Jake.
Fair play, yes. Oliver York, a very proven driver, but Dominic Bush is out here to sort out his own career. Through the chicane we go again. Look how close they get to rubbing the tyres. In fact, I think the O-plate, Jenson Butterfield, actually did kiss the tyres as he went through. So that is how hard they're pushing. It's great to see Super 1 back at Fulbeck. As up the inside of the 23 of Lorcan Hannafin goes Dexter Patterson, the reigning Army Cadet champion. He pushes his way through. Very nice overtaking move there. He's made up 2 places on the last lap. So Patterson definitely putting himself back into contention in the Minimax.
Back on board here with Ravenscroft. Clayton Ravenscroft having a great day today, I have to say. We've always said, Jacob, it's nice to see the drivers improving, and this is again a leap forward for Clayton Ravenscroft. He was leading it early on. He's in 3rd place now, but he's got to take whatever happens this weekend now, the positives out of the weekend. He's clearly a front runner.
Great battles as they come through the chicane once again. Oh, up in the air goes Gilbert. Oh, that's a very nasty one indeed. He clangs with Owen Johnson, tries to go up the inside. Let's look again. It's an ambitious move. They touch wheels. Up in the air goes Gilbert. Then he hits the barrier backwards in. And my goodness me, Owen Johnson getting a face full of wheel as they come together. Let's look overhead from the drone. Bang, up in the air, bang again, and pirouetting backwards. Both drivers incredibly lucky. That could have been so much worse. They were very lucky, and not surprisingly, the Battenburg flags are around the circuit. That is the equivalent of a virtual safety car in Formula 1 at Super 1 level. And once this is cleared up, we will be racing again, but that was so close, Alan. That could have been so much worse.
Yeah, off the back of what's happened to Alex Lloyd this weekend, that was a big collision, and I'm pleased to say both the kids are okay, but Owen Johnson there, Jake, very, very lucky as the marshals under the Battenburg pulling the carts away. This is what a Battenburg flag is for. It's my favourite flag in karting. It's widely underused, or it has been. I think we're going to see a lot more of it from now on after what happened at Butmore Park. I don't think it's just because of that, but I think it's a great flag under those circumstances. Have a look at the drivers. They've had a look, had them assessed. Do they need an ambulance on circuit? They don't. Bring the Battenburg flag goes back in, and we're underway racing again.
We are indeed into the chicane for the first time since the Battenbergs have been withdrawn, and already the battle is rejoined as Klaas Koijke once again becomes the meat in a Coles racing sandwich, and that's a pretty meaty, tasty one. Up the inside goes Ravenscroft. He goes into 2nd position. Very nice work, but he's going to have to work incredibly hard to keep Klaas Koijke off his tail as they go through the toe and up towards the heel as we go through the boot section of the circuit. And back onto the main straight once again. Is Johnny Edgar catchable in this race? You might say, considering his restart, he's already got 2 or 3 kart lengths on the rest of the field. Potentially, Alan, debatable.
Yeah, but he's got a bit of a gap here. Again, as you say, 4 or 5 kart lengths back to Clayton Ravenscroft here. I'm really, really impressed with Clayton this weekend. It has shown his true colours. He really is going to be a front runner from this point onward. Dexter Patterson there leading the chase. He's the 2015 Army Cadet champion.
Yeah, that's crucial. He's got himself up into 6th position there, so he's going to be leading the train of karts as they chase after this pack. Butterfield and Canning are at the back of this train of karts, and it's Patterson who leads the way for the group behind, with just in behind him Lorcan Hannafin in 7th position. So there could be quite an interesting mix of drivers fighting for these last few places in the top 10 as we go into the final 2 minutes of the race here. On board again with Ravenscroft as he desperately tries to find something on his teammate. You can hear the wheels chirruping as they go through that first corner. The cracks in the road just show the character and the brilliance of this circuit. It is one of the classics in British motorsport. As up the inside, Koijke goes for the move that Gilbert couldn't get done earlier, and he makes it stick. That's a brave move.
That is a great move, a brilliant move there. Clayton's going backwards now, drops to 5th. So in 2 turns, he's gone from 2nd to 5th. He's still on the back of this group though, but that's allowed the 12 kart of Dexter Patterson to get that much closer as he come through the boot. One more time, kart sweep through there, left-handed now, out onto the main straight, down to the bus stop here. This is the bus stop. It's still Edgar out front, being chased now by Koijke.
Oh, contact again! That's the 11 that's gone around. That is Kieran Jeremy, and Bunce is in there as well. So 2 or 3 karts. Let's watch again. I think this is Jeremy about to be overtaken, is it? Let's watch again.
There's other karts involved here, Jake, as well. 23, 11, 58,
Oh, it's
14,
a bit of loading.
27.
That's what it is, loading. They just get too close together. Bunce goes into the back of the 23 of Hannafin. Hannafin was already caught up with Jeremy, and it just ended up being a bit of skittles there, as again, third position is debated, and it's Canning who gets through into third place as he gets past Jensen Butterfield. Patterson has now dropped that battle thanks to Hannafin, Bunce and Jeremy getting in the wars. So Patterson is on the tail behind this man we're on board with, Ravenscroft. It's now going to be a six-way fight for the victory with less than 20 seconds on the clock now.
Yeah, once the clock counts down, the last lap board will come out once the clock counts down. So effectively, they're more than 14 seconds away from the start line. So this is the penultimate lap, effectively. They come down to the chicane one more time. Really impressed with Klaus Koika this weekend, Jake. Best we've seen from him.
And actually, while we're on the subject of superlatives for drivers we've not seen too much of in the past, Dominic Bush has got through all of that in 7th position behind the top 6. Good work from Dominic Bush there behind Patterson. You can see him in the background. Running in 7th position, this is the Rudyard Kipling performance from Dominic Bush, isn't it? If you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, as 2 more nearly do as they go into the hairpin once again. Well, that was a very near miss, but Bush in 7th position, driving very well, and if any of these guys tangle, he'll pick up some more pieces. On board with Ravenscroft. Look, Butterfield having to defend as they go towards turn 1. He just weaves across, making sure Ravenscroft can't come by. He's got his head over his shoulder more than he has going forwards. He knows that Ravenscroft is threatening as they go into the chicane again, and it looks as though Edgar has got enough on his plate here in front of the man just on his tail, Klaus Koika. Canning is in 3rd place, but he's not close enough to challenge. Ravenscroft, however, he's having a go at Butterfield, and Jensen Butterfield has got one eye on the road in front and another eye right behind him as they squirm through the hill and back onto the main straight. It's not going to change a thing. Edgar's going to take the checkered flag, and he gets the victory. 2nd position for Klaus Koika, and a brilliant effort from him. Canning on the 3rd step of the podium from Butterfield and Ravenscroft, from Patterson, Dominic Bush in a fine 7th. Bunce, Jeremy and Hunt all recover.
Johnny, it's been a perfect weekend for you. You won every race. Tell us how you're feeling.
I'm really happy. The first 3 races were easier than the last one because I got a bit of a gap. Then the Battenburg came out, and then I had a tiny gap. But then Klaus caught me on the last lap, and I had to defend a tiny bit.
And what do you think made it harder for you in that second final? Did you lose a bit of pace, or do you think all the rest just gained some time?
I think I lost a bit because on the first lap I had to defend and my tyres weren't as good. And then when the Battenburg came out, everyone just managed to stay with me a little bit more.
And how hard was it to defend on that last lap with so much pressure from behind?
It wasn't too bad because it was only last half the lap, but it was still quite hard.
And who would you like to thank for this perfect weekend for you?
I'd like to thank Coles Racing, Mike Adams, my family and everyone else that's helped me.
Well, no wonder Jensen Butterfield spent the last couple of laps looking over his shoulder. He's got 3 in the hunt behind him. Johnny Edgar making a big points haul. Lorcan Hannafin and Tom Canning scoring consistently over the weekend. They're still in contention, with Clayton Ravenscroft rounding out the top 5 after a tough weekend. Junior Rotax up next, and the championship leader Jonathan Hoggard is hoping to stand on the top step of the podium once again.